today's edition of AM Minnesota. Sometimes we have more informative conversations off air than we do on air. This morning is kind of one of those days. Ruth Hickey is with us. She is the executive director of Ruth's House of Hope. Joyce Elsen is with us. We'll have Lynn Pullman with us today. My, oh my. We got a great day brewed here, Ruth. Thanks.
Yeah, great day. Talk about the gala.
That's right. It's coming up again, isn't it?
It is February 13th at the American Legion. We'd like all people to come.
How many years have you been doing this?
Okay, I think it's 12. Yep, 12 years we've been doing this gala. We had our first gala before we opened.
Oh, before you opened?
Yeah, we had Our Savior's Elsen Church. They put on a gala to raise some seed money to get us open. So, yeah, it's been an incredible journey.
And it helped.
It helped. It sure did. We got the doors open, and now we've been open for 11 years because of the community. And I tell you, the gala is our biggest fundraiser, so we'd love to have you.
Any idea how many people you've served in those 11 years?
It's about 1,100. We serve in the shelter about 100 people a year. Last year was 110.
Wow.
Yep. But we also have our off-campus program, which we are able to house an additional 38 people. So, and over half of these folks are children. So we're providing a safe place for these families to live.
And it's not just Faribault.
No, we're in Rice County. We have a couple units in Northfield, as well as off-campus in Faribault.
So keep that in mind, folks. This is not just the Faribault thing.
Right. It's that we serve Rice County area.
So what exactly do you provide in terms of services?
Okay, we do crisis shelter for those who are coming out of a crisis situation, domestic violence. Sometimes addictions are along with that, or other reasons that bring people homeless. But most of the people that come through us have experienced some kind of trauma. So we provide a safe shelter, food, and resources for homeless women and their children. First and foremost, a place for them to just land and heal and regroup. Then we connect them with services and do some goal setting with them and try to help them move on to self-sufficiency and into permanent safe housing.
Now, after we take our break, we're going to call someone here, right?
Lynn Pullman. She works at Wells Fargo Bank, and she is a go-getter. She's our treasurer of our gala committee. There's a group of about 15 women who put this on and put tireless hours in to put this big event on. So she's one of the main ones, and Lynn will be sharing a little bit about the wine wall and maybe some dessert auction items.
Sure, and Joyce Elsen is with us in studio too. And Joyce, I see here you're the chair of this year's Hearts Gala event, which means you have to work your fingers to the bone.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy. It's getting even busier right now. There's been a lot of community support and people calling in just to help out.
Well, that's fantastic. I think you were telling me before we hit the airwaves that you've been getting over 100 emails a day or something like that?
Oh, there's days like that, with everybody getting more information regarding the gala, and the committee members just trying to stay on top of everything.
And obviously it's getting bigger because I know you used to be in a smaller venue than the Legion, which is where it's at this year, right?
Yeah, we were at the Elks, and they were just fantastic to work with. I can't say enough about the Elks. But they only were able to serve 200, so we outgrew them, and now we're at the American Legion.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
You know, you want to grow, right?
Yep, absolutely.
The more people, in theory, the more money raised.
That's right. That's what we're hoping for.
And it all benefits people who really could use the help.
Absolutely. When it comes down to providing safe shelter for homeless women and their children, especially the children, that's where my heart is. If we don't do anything else at all, it's providing a safe place for the children to live.
And I like the way you put that. That's where your heart is, because the kids are in the middle of this. They have nothing to do with this.
Right. Yep, they're our smallest victims of trauma.
Very innocent in the whole process.
Yes.
So, we'll talk more. In fact, we'll be joining Lynn. She's going to be on the phone with us from, I think, Ireland or something. We'll be visiting with her when AM continues. Thanks, John. Certainly appreciate that. Your opening market report again, a service of your KHL Agri Boosters, including Territory Manager Paul Rogness. He's with Prairie Brand Seeds. Prairie Brand 2024 had the highest two-year average in the U of M Southern Minnesota soybean trials If you need more information, just head to the website, prairiebrandseeds.com, prairiebrandseeds.com, or call Prairie Brand Seed Dealer in the Faribault area, Milt Olson. Ag Power Enterprises, your John Deere dealer in Owatonna, Hollandale, Belle Plaine, and Osage, Northwood, Iowa, also is a KDHL Agri Booster. Well, joining us on the phone will be Lynn Coleman here shortly. She's in the Twin Cities right now, but before we go to Lynn, just want to touch on a couple of things with Ruth again. You want to tell me about Lynn's, you said she was the treasurer, right, of your board?
She's a treasurer. She keeps track of all the money that comes in and all the people and she is amazing, and not only a treasurer, but she's just a real ambassador for Ruth's House.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Lynn, why are you involved with Ruth's House?
What an awesome question. I chose to volunteer at Ruth's House because Ruth's House helps make a difference in the lives of women and children. They have a place for them to go to feel safe, secure, a place for them to let their guard down and to start looking toward the future and what that can bring to them. And also Ruth's House provides resources for them. They get a fresh start. They learn how to live on their own, deal with finances if they haven't had that, further their education. It's just really a place for them to heal. And I believe everybody deserves that opportunity.
Yeah, virtually everyone knows someone who's had to go through this experience, right, Lynn? Have you had friends go through this that you can relate to?
Yes, I have, yes.
And I'm assuming that's why these ladies are involved too, but we'll talk to them in a moment. You're supposed to tell us about the wine wall, right?
Wine wall. What's really cool about this is that we have 30 bottles that have been donated, and they're all $10 and on up, and we have 2 special bottles that have been donated, which are $50 a piece. And we sell raffle tickets. They're $10 for 20. They can buy as many tickets as they want. They get to write their name on the slip. They place it in a basket by the bottle of their choice. And the other neat thing is that the bottles are wrapped. They're labeled with a white or red ribbon, which shows the color of the wine. And then with the bottles being wrapped, what makes it really interesting for them is they get to choose the wrapping that they like the best, or really what's most intriguing to them, what's kind of behind that wrapping for that bottle. Our raffle starts at 5:30. It goes till 6:50, and we do announce the winners that night right before the live auction. And it's really cool to see the expressions of people's faces when they open up the wrapping to see what kind of wine they won. And it's also really cool to see the people that win the $50 bottles. So it's a lot of fun, and to be able to experience that.
Are you a wine connoisseur?
No, I'm just learning wine. So anybody who can help me with that, I will take their advice.
Okay. Well, I just wondered, because certain wine's supposed to go with certain food. You know how that works. And I saw what was on the menu, Lynn. Do you remember what's on the menu? Chicken and wild rice or vegetable lasagna. Oh, my. I don't know yet. What kind of wine are we going to have with that? Are we going to have wine? You are so sly, then. Are you involved with the dessert auction too, or is Joyce going to tell us about that?
I think all of
Okay.
it.
All right. All right. Well, thanks, Lynn. I certainly appreciate your joining us. Anything you wanted to add before I let you go?
There's a gala. It is fantastic. It is a great way to come in and meet new people and to find out really, truly what does drive Ruth's House. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And the theme this year is going to be awesome. So hope to see lots of people that...
Did you say the theme?
Northern Lights.
Oh, wow. That does sound awesome. And, of course, it is the day before Valentine's, so it'd be a great date night, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it, Lynn. You have a great day. Safe travels. Lynn Pullman joining us this morning on our AM Minnesota program. She's the treasurer of the board, or of this event?
This event.
Oh, okay. How many people are on your board, Ruth?
11.
Do you need other people on your board?
We're full now. We're doing good now. Yep. But we're always going to be looking for people, so if someone's interested, give me a call.
You need volunteers, always need volunteers.
We always need volunteers, but you know what? We are so grateful for the volunteers that we do have. We have over 100 volunteers that come and do various things for Ruth's House: transportation, babysitting, office work, on the board of directors.
Then we did some cleanup here a couple of springs ago, if I remember. I checked Christ Lutheran, our church, and it was fun to go up there. I'm not really into cleaning a whole lot, but it was fun to do it at your place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with a group like that, and you can see the results, and it just really makes a nice home for the families, you know, to make sure that everything is nice and clean, and the landscape is taken care of. It just freshens things up.
I seem to recall that year also he did some painting down at the Somalian Center downtown too.
Yep, volunteering is where it's at, serving others. That's what we do.
Yep. So that was a lot of fun. You gonna have us back someday, maybe?
Yeah, probably this spring again. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. So Joyce Elsen also is with us. Joyce is the chairperson of this year's annual Hearts Gala. So did the board come up with a theme? Did you come up with a theme, Joyce? Or how does that go?
The committee from last year always gets together after the gala to review things. And last year we came up with the Northern Lights theme. So this year Katie Erickson from Erickson Furniture and Mike Young, who works there as well, they're creating centerpieces that are branches of trees with lights on it for the Northern Lights theme, and then the chicken and wild rice to go along with that theme. And one of the quilts that's being made by Kathy Knutson and her sisters, the Langsley sisters from Faribault, have created a cabin-type theme queen-size quilt for the live auction as well. And Chris Angel's made a bed topper that will also be in the live auction, representing the Northern Lights theme.
I thought maybe you were going to decorate the ceiling in Northern Lights.
There are lights in the ceiling at the American Legion, so we're just elaborating on that.
Sounds interesting, doesn't it, Ruth?
Yes, it's going to be an awesome event. There's just been an incredible amount of planning. But you know what's really special about this event is the people who attend. It is such a wonderful, caring group of people, and they're fun, and it's just a lot of camaraderie, a lot of good conversation, and especially we have a keynote speaker, Tasha Shu, which is a young woman who is a motivational speaker, and she's in a wheelchair, and I tell you, she can motivate the pants off anyone. I mean, she's just amazing young woman. So for that reason alone, if you just want to come and hear her speak and have a nice dinner, it's worth it.
Is she from Minnesota?
She is. Yep.
Tasha Shu.
She's living in Ellsworth, Wisconsin right now. That's where she was in theater at the age of 16 at her school, and they had a trap door for a scene that they hadn't practiced before. And she stepped backwards, went through that, and fell 16 feet. And this has been her life. I believe she's 34 now, and is this motivational speaker from tragedy to triumph is kind of how I look at her.
What a perfect person to talk about Ruth's House of Hope.
And that's exactly what happens at Ruth's House. So there's such a correlation, and not only that is she is considered having a disability now. In our off-campus, part of the criteria for that program is someone in the family has a disability. So we do help a lot of people with disabilities that come through our program.
When you think about what she had to go through to get where she is today.
Right. And it's amazing the journeys that our women have. It's very, very parallel. And they come from very traumatic, different situations, and they pull out of it, but they need support, and they need our support. And that's what the gala is all about, is supporting our mission.
So Joyce, tell me about the dessert auction.
Ooh, we have usually well over 30 desserts. A lot of them are donated by individuals that just want to help out with the gala. They'll donate, and local bakeries, businesses as well. One year one of the cakes went for over $125. Another thing we're talking about this year is we're trying to find out if there might be somebody who would like to do a match. If we raise $3,000 at the dessert auction, maybe a business or a group might be interested in matching those funds.
Good idea. I like the way you guys think.
Yeah, that would be really helpful to get a match like that. We've never done anything like that, but there's been a lot of conversation around it. To just try to increase the funds while we're there, we might as well raise the money while we're there. So.
Yeah. Well, I would think it takes a considerable amount of money to run Ruth's house.
It does. It's between $500 and $1,000 a day to operate the actual transitional shelter, and we do not get any government funding for that for the shelter. So we need to raise about $230,000 to operate the facility annually. And then we have our off-campus program, which is a HUD-funded program. But we're looking to raise money for the shelter, for those who are in crisis, immediate need.
Is this your biggest fundraiser?
It's the biggest fundraiser that we do. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's what a great time. It's February. You know, it's kind of a blah time of year. Why not spice it up with a fun Valentine night with your friends and family?
I like the idea. Now, Joyce, I'm gonna ask you a question you probably don't want me to ask.
Uh-oh.
But it is winter.
Yeah.
And we could have a blizzard.
I know, I worry
So
about that.
have there been thoughts? I mean, would we push back a weekend? Does that work, or do you...
The show must go on. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay.
We've had a couple of years where it was iffy, and everything's set. We have to go on. I suppose in the case of a dire emergency, we maybe could, but.
Yeah. I think we've talked before that where I live and like where Lynn lives over in the Morristown area, we have a drive to get here, so if the weather looks bad, we all know where the hotel rooms are, and like the Grand Stay, they've already offered a gift certificate. Maybe we'd just buy that a little bit early to get to town for the gala.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought up the auction, too. Well, you got a lot of items here on the silent auction.
We do.
I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah, we have
Social hour begins at 5:30, by the way. The dinner and program is at 7. We already told you it's on the menu. Where can I get tickets, Ruth?
You can call Joyce at 507-332-8383 or email ruthshousemn@gmail.com, or you can just send a check into Ruth's House at 219 4th Avenue Northwest.
Tickets are $60. That includes the meal and all the fun events going on.
That's right, and we're going to have music by Livewire.
That's right, Jamie Jensen, our own Jamie Jensen.
Yes, indeed. He does a fantastic job of emceeing and providing an array of music.
And our auctioneer, too, is Kevin Mering from Mering Auctioneers in Kenyon, Minnesota. He volunteers his time every year to do the actual auction for us. He does a great job.
Yeah, everything's volunteer. Everybody comes together, and it's just a great evening.
We figured last year we put in at least 1,800 hours to pull off the gala, just our committee.
Wow. Ruth Hickey is the executive director of Ruth's House of Hope. I know you've told the story virtually every time you've been on the show, Ruth, but there are some people maybe that have tuned in that didn't tune in before. Ruth's House is not named after you.
No, it's named after the biblical Ruth. It's just one of those coincidences.
Yeah, well, maybe you were named after the biblical Ruth.
Well, that I was. My mother told me I was, but it was actually the committee. We started. It was started with the vision, and very divinely orchestrated, and a group of women got together, and from that moment, sitting around table at our Savior's Lutheran Church, Ruth's House was born, the idea, and then we acquired the building from Catholic Charities, and it just has kept going.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't take this wrong.
I'll try not to.
But it's a shame that we need something like this.
It is, but I've never been more grateful that we are open. It's just the outpouring of need is there, and I think that's something that's always going to be. People are always going to have problems in their life and different things that happen. So I guess I'm just really grateful that we're there, and especially for the women and the children, just to have a safe place.
I'd be willing to bet you've had a lot of people come back and volunteer that have been through the program.
We do, and we even have some people who have come back to volunteer, and then they there's actually one particular, or actually a couple people that we've had who came to volunteer and then they became staff. Very dedicated. We have one woman in particular who not only does she have a full-time job, she actually works part-time at Ruth's house as well, and she is just such a wonderful advocate for these residents.
Joyce, why are you involved in this? You could be doing a lot of things all the time you're doing for this.
Helping in the community is just something I think everybody needs to be a part of, and helping others makes us feel better about ourselves, and that's what we should, that's our gift here on earth, to give. So it's a wonderful feeling.
It's kind of what we're commanded to do, isn't it?
It is.
It is, and I think it meets us at our deepest level. Many of us who are part of Ruth's house have had similar situations that these residents have gone through, and you can really identify, and so you just are able to just come deep down into your heart and to give when you've been through a similar situation. Many of the staff and volunteers have. So thanks for their willingness.
And as Ruth said earlier, your heart really bleeds for the kids involved.
Absolutely, it's the children. We have two moms that are ready to give birth at this time within a couple months, and so I'm grateful that they have a safe place to come back with their child after the child is born. And we've had lots of babies that have been born during their stay at Ruth's house, so it's been pretty amazing. But we also have a lot of school-age kids. A lot of people ask, what are the kids are like? They're all ages. Right now we have 14 children there at the shelter.
What are the age ranges, do you remember?
I think the youngest one is 1.5 years, and the oldest one, I think she must be 10th grade.
There is quite a variation.
Yeah. So we try to make it accommodating for all ages, and so it's just a welcoming atmosphere for anyone who comes into Ruth's house.
Now, I know you call this transitional, right? Transitional, so that means there is a cap on how long people can be there?
Our program, our emergency program is a 45-day stay, but they can stay for a period of up to 2 years if need be. Very few people do that. Our average stay is like 180 days now. Now that things have opened up a little bit with Section 8 and some housing. But we have had people stay for over a year, and we had one woman in particular who ended up finding out she had cancer during her stay. So she stayed a long time to get through all her cancer treatments, and she was so grateful for the support, because we have 24-hour support, as well as all the volunteers that come in and help.
She's still with us?
She's not with Ruth's house anymore. She's not here anymore.
No, but I mean she's alive, right?
No, I'm sorry, she passed away.
Oh, I'm
Last
sorry.
year.
Yep, it was a sad deal, but we were so grateful to be able to help her through some of her final days.
Yeah. Well, she's in a better place.
Yep.
Want to go over some auction items, silent auction items, Joyce? I'll let you pick some out there.
I can do that. We have Anna's Closet, Annabelle Creations. We have F-Town Brewery, the new brewery in town, has given us a brew experience for the day. Firehouse Liquor, Farmer Seed, Paul Swenson Photography, Paddington's Quality Appliance. The Dills have helped out. John's Bait and Tackle, Just Food Community, the Churchills, Bloom Floral and Design, Erickson Furniture, Hy-Vee and Fairway Foods, Faribault Tires, Signature Bar.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there's probably 100, and I bet you there's at least 25 individuals that have made something. Craig Allman has made a tree stand that he'll be auctioning off, or will be auctioning off in the live auction as well.
I see here you have some items that have been donated by the Restorative Justice Program, the Department of Corrections.
Yes, matter of fact, might be picking those up this morning. They've made a table and chairs, a little kid's table and chairs, and they've made a wood planter and a few other items that they've actually made there. It's about $500 worth of stuff. that
is very cool. AAUW Faribault Branch has a couple of book baskets. There's a 250-piece mechanics tool set valued at $100 from AutoZone. Wow. A Burkhart's Meyer Shoes gift certificate for $25. Might give you a bid on that right away here.
And also we have our corporate sponsors. I'd like to include in that Bolt Funeral Home, Reliance Bank, Donahue's Greenhouse, Harry Brown's, the Faribault Daily News, Faribault Tire and Auto, A&J Storage, and KGP, and that's just as of today.
Those are your corporate
Sponsors, yes.
All right. The list is almost endless here. We can't go through all the. You got a couple of performance tickets from the Guthrie here, I see.
Yes, Guthrie. Now, who wouldn't want to win those? That would be or actually bid on, I should say. Guthrie is a wonderful opportunity.
The Oldie Store Restaurant in Northfield gift certificate. Man, oh man, got a lot of good stuff here. There's over 100 items on there.
And Gordy, you were talking about pies earlier. The Trinity Pie Makers are giving away 4 gift certificates for pies, so maybe you can find your apple pie
Yours
there.
truly will be bidding on those babies. I like my pie. I'm more of a pie than a cake person. How about you, Ruth?
I like it all.
Unfortunately, right?
Unfortunately.
You're a dessert person, huh?
I am a dessert person. Yes, I am.
Yeah, we had some pretty rich desserts when we were in Italy back last April. You said you were there recently, right?
We were there last year and had a great time, too. Speaking of food, too, one of the other things that Ruth's House needs is a commercial oven, and that's going to be our special needs request this year. Ruth, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's a commercial oven. It's $5,000. This is going to be our big ticket item this year. There's a real big need for this oven. The one we have is, I'm not sure, but it's probably about 50 years old. It's probably been with the house for a long time, just like the house is over 100 years old. So, and it's on its last leg. We've been having to service it quite often, and so it's time that we get a new oven and new stove.
Is the current one commercial grade too?
It is commercial grade, yep. We have to have a commercial kitchen.
I was going to say, it's required.
It's
right?
required by the state, yep.
Yeah. So, I'm going to guess that Kevin Merring's probably going to open up the floor for people to throw their money into the ring to buy that stove.
That's right. Last year, we had bids on washer and dryer, and we were able to get that, you know, so.
Yeah.
And you know what else we could bid off?
Milk.
Gallons of milk. So you can come and bid on gallons of milk.
Well, it can't be that. Get on over, folks. That's February 13th. And again, what's your information there about tickets?
Okay. You could contact Joyce at 332-8383 or email ruthshousemn@gmail.com, or you may just send in to Ruth's House of Hope at 219 4th Avenue North.